For a basic LSTM unit, its external inputs are its previous cell state, the previous hidden state, and the current input vector. The equations below are vectorized and describe the update of the memory cells in the LSTM layer at every time step t. Hereby, the following notation is used like this. xt is the input vector at time step t, vfx, vfh, and so on are weight matrices, bf, bs, bi, and so on are bias vector, ft, it, and ot are vector for the activation value of the respective gates. st are vector for the cell states and candidate values. And last, ht is a vector for the output of the LSTM layer. During a forward pass, the cell states st and output ht of the LSTM layer at time step t are calculated as follows. In the first step, the LSTM layer determines which information should be removed from its previous cell states. Therefore, the activation value of the forget gates at time step t are computed based on the current input x. The output of the memory cells at the previous time step and the bias term of the forget gates, the sigmoid function finally scales all activation values into the range between 0, represent as completely forget, and 1, represent as completely remember. In the second step, the LSTM layer determines which information should be added to the network's cell states. This procedure comprises two operations. First, candidate values that could potentially be added to the cell state are computed, and the second, the activation values of the input gates are calculated. In the third step, the new cell states are calculated based on the result of the previous two steps, with denoting the element-wise product. In the last step, the output of the memory cells is derived as denoted in the following two equations like this. Construction of input sequence for LSTM network, both feature vector and sequence are shown transposed like this. When processing an input sequence, its features are presented time step by time step to the LSTM network. Hereby, the input at each time step t is processed by network as denoted in the equation above. Once the last element of the sequence has been processed, the final output for the whole sequence is returned. During training, and similar to traditional feed-forward networks, the wake and bias terms are adjusted in such a way that they minimize the loss of the specified objective function across the training samples. Since it is dealing with a classification problem, it uses cross-entropy as objective function. For the training of a DLSTM network, it applies dropout regularization within the recurrent layer. Hereby, a fraction of the input units is randomly dropped at each update during training time, both at the input gates and the recurrent connection, resulting in reduced risk of overfitting and better generalization. The specified topology of trained LSTM network is hence as follows. Input layer with one feature and 240 time steps. LSTM layer with h equal 25 hidden neuron and a dropout value of 0.1. This configuration yields 2,752 parameters for the LSTM, leading to an sensible number of approximately 93 training examples per parameter. Output layer or dense layer with 2 neurons and softmax activation function. A maximum training duration of 1000 epochs and an early stopping patient of 10. Hereby, the training samples are split into two sets, one training and one validation set. The first set is used to train the network and to iteratively adjust its parameters so that the loss function is minimized. After each epoch, one pass across the sample of the first set, the network predicts the unseen samples from the validation set and a validation loss is computed. Hence, the validation loss doesn't decrease for patient periods. The training is stopped and the wake of the model with the lowest validation loss is restored. This is for the benchmark model. For benchmarking the LSTM, they choose random forest because it is a robust yet high-performing machine learning method, a standard deep net for showing the advantage of the LSTM, and a logistic regression for a standard classifier as baseline. Why use random forest as benchmark for two compelling reasons? First, it is a state-of-the-art machine learning model that requires virtually no tuning and usually delivers good results. And it deploys a standard deep neural network to show the relative advantage of LSTM network. Specifically, it uses a feed-forward neural network with 31 input neurons, 10 neurons in the second, 5 in the third hidden layer, and 2 neurons in the output layer. The activation function is maxed out with the two channels. Dropout is set to 0.5 and L1 regularization with the shrinkage 0.0001. Logistic regression serves as a baseline so that it can derive the incremental value add of the much more complex and computationally intensive LSTM network in comparison to a standard classifier. This is the result. First, it analyzed the characteristic of portfolio consisting of two keystocks. For example, the top keystock we go long and the flop keystock we go short. We choose K of element 10, 50, 100, 150, and 200, and compare the performance of the novel LSTM with the other approach along the dimension mean return per day, annualized standard deviation, annualized Sharpe ratio, and accuracy prior to transaction cost. This picture provides insight of the financial performance of the LSTM compared to the benchmark prior to and after transaction cost. It has two key findings. First, the LSTM outperformed the random forest by a clear margin in terms of return characteristic and risk return metric. We are thus able to show that choosing LSTM network which are inherently suitable for time series prediction tasks outperforms shallow tree-based model as well as standard deep learning. And the second, we demonstrate that a standard logistic regression is not able to capture the same level of information from the feature space, even though we perform example cross-validation to find optimal regularization values. These early times are characterized by strong performance, with the LSTM being superior to the random forest with respect to average return per day, Sharpe ratio, and accuracy in almost all years. In this part, we can got three contributions that I have said before. First, these models are largely robust in light of market friction, given that profitability remains statistically and economically significant when executing the daily LSTM strategy and when running a weekly variant of the LSTM strategy with a one-day waiting period after signal generation. And the second, we disentangle the black box LSTM and unveil common pattern of stock that are selected for profitable trading. We find that the LSTM portfolio consists of stocks with below mean momentum, strong short-term reversal characteristic, high volatility, and beta. And third, Based on the common pattern of the LSTM portfolio, we devised a simplified role-based trading strategy, specifically buy short-term winners and buy short-term losers, and hold the position for 1 day just like in the LSTM application. With this transparent, simplified strategy, we achieve return of 0.23% per day prior to transaction cost, about 50% of the LSTM return. Overall, it has successfully demonstrated that an LSTM network is able to effectively extract meaningful information from noisy financial time series data. Compared to random forest, standard deep nets, and logistic regression, it is the method of choice with respect to predictional accuracy and with respect to daily return after transaction cost. As it turns out, deep learning in the form of LSTM network hence seems to constitute an advancement in this domain as well. That's all my summary about this paper. Please feel free if there are any comments about it. Thank you for watching.